Hi, my name's Luca, and today I'm going to tell you a story. Have you ever wanted to change something about yourself? For example, the way you look? Well, I'm going to tell you how I try to do that starting about a year ago. As a kid, I was always really insecure about the way I looked. As you can see, I'm still pretty skinny, but believe me, it used to be worse. Way, way worse. And I decided to start doing research and begin working out, maybe changing my diet, find some way to look different. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't work out as planned. But this video is gonna be the do's and don'ts of trying to bulk up or just self improvement in general. And take this from the point of view of a guy who tried and kind of failed, but did succeed. Now, if you want to build muscle, there's a lot of steps to do it. You have to find the right diet. You need to think of a good schedule for yourself, not just for working out. You also have to be able to rest, and you need to manage to fit this in with the rest of your life. And I found this really difficult, and I made a lot of mistakes. Trust me, I could have been way further, and I acknowledge that. I could have done way better. But I'm gonna make this video so that people out there who want to do the same thing I wanted to do and am still doing, I want to make sure they don't make those same mistakes. See those photos right there that I just put? That was me. That was literally me. I was that skinny. And I'm different. I look different now, and I'm happy how far I've come, and I know I still have a long way to go. But do you know what my first step was? And this is a step that a lot of people ignore. They're like, oh no, I don't have to eat more, just work out, right? Working out will give me muscle. No, you have to eat. If you want to put more weight in your body, you literally have to put more weight in your body by eating. It just makes sense. And but some people are like, how much do I eat? I have no idea. What you should do, one of my first do's of this video is count calories. And I regret not incorporating this early enough because it's a game changer. Counting calories just lets you see how much you're actually eating. And it doesn't take that much. If you have there are many apps you can go on, and you could just look at the ingredients on whatever you're eating. Like, let's say you make a sandwich, right? You're like, okay, how much are these 2 slices of bread? How many calories are in this piece of turkey, cheese, mayo? Just add that up and put it in the app. And I don't have any apps to really recommend, but there are plenty. You can just look it up. There are probably hundreds on the App Store. And it's just easy. If you have a phone, you could just do that. And in case you're wondering, okay, but what amount should I be going for? How many calories should I eat? My first tip for the amount of food is you should eat, if you're a skinny guy like me, you should eat about a gram of protein for each pound of body weight. What this means is me for example, I weigh almost 120 pounds. I'm gonna say 115. On a good day, 120, right? I have to eat 120 grams of protein, and that's not easy to achieve. Definitely not, but that's just a good thing to go for. And for calories, I'd say between 500 to 1,000 above what you need for maintenance. And maintenance is just staying the same weight. So for most people, maintenance is, I'd say, 1,600 to 2,000. That's the average diet. You'd go through your whole day, you eat that, you won't lose weight, you won't gain weight, right? Even if you're working out. So now, to be fair, if you're eating less than that and you go to maintenance, that's still good. That still means you're getting somewhere. But it would be really, really good if you just ate a bulk. And in case you're like, oh, but Luca, I'm a skinny guy like you. I have a bad appetite. How am I going to eat all that? I don't have the time for that, and I'm going to feel full. That's where my next do is liquid calories. Liquid calories are also a game changer because they're just so much easier to They're so much easier to digest. And liquid calories you could buy, you could go to your deli and they have those little bottles of protein shakes. Now, they aren't always that good. Some have sugar, some don't have much protein, some just taste really bad. From my own experience, I had some and they were horrible. I just had to choke the bottle down because I was getting my calories in, but I just promised myself never again. So I guess if you want to avoid that experience, you should look up some good recipes on how to make a good shake. And here's one recipe right here. In case you're wondering why I could actually see a bit of the guy's shoulder right here, that's from Joe Fazer, this YouTuber that really helped me out. He gave me that recipe. Well, he didn't give me personally, but you know, it was in his video. It's like a screenshot of the video. Big shout out to him, actually. Go subscribe if you want. He's just look up Joe Fazer, like Joefazer. I'm not gonna go into that, but big thanks to him. He really helped me out because he was also a skinny kid like 6 years ago. And I know that sounds like crazy, and this is another small tip of mine, and it's to be patient. Be patient with yourself. You're not gonna look good in a day. You're not gonna look good in 2 days. You're not gonna look good in a week, and you probably won't look good in a month. Okay, that's kind of a lie. You would look pretty good in a month, but you won't look insane in a month. That's for sure. Going from like spindly to jacked, that takes a long time. Definitely a long time. And if you think about it, it makes sense. You couldn't possibly go through that kind of change in a small amount of time. Why would you want to? Like, why would you? It would feel uncomfortable. It's like going through a growth spurt. Have you ever like went through a growth spurt and it just like hurt, like your back hurts sometimes, you couldn't get up, you're like, what happened to me? How did I get so big? It's usually not that fast either, but you grow faster than you ever do in the rest of your life. Okay, so I want to go into another tip, and this is now more like workout tips. I'm kind of done with food. So this workout tip, oh actually one more food tip. Protein powder, and you do kind of need that for shakes, but protein powder, it's way easier than getting like meat and chicken, like that kind of stuff. You can get protein from that. You can get protein from beans and a lot of other things, but it's a game changer too, because if you need to get in that like extra couple grams, that's just really helpful. You make a shake like the recipe that I showed you, choke it down, that's 800 calories down the drain. You've already probably, just like with that one shake, you are most likely increasing your diet, like I'm just assuming your diet, by a lot. Just with that, that's like a third to a fourth of your daily diet, just added. That's crazy. If you think about it, that's crazy. That's really big. Now, this is more about exercise. One tip I have is go slow, be safe. In fact, I suggest you start with body weight. This is like calisthenics. Just do, pull-ups. You can do chin-ups too. Push-ups instead of bench press, because bench press is risky. I remember I used to be so small, I'd like hurt myself. I couldn't even bench the bar 3 times or something. Like my friends had to set me. I think like I almost hurt myself. I was just like, I did it once and I just collapsed to one side. I couldn't do it. And I could have just done some push-ups instead, honestly. That's a do. Start slow. And you do need to use what's called progressive overload, and that's when you add weight little by little or increase the amount of reps you're doing little by little. There's like 2 ways of doing it, but I usually do it the weight way. Let's say with the actually an example. Do you know how it was invented? There was a Greek wrestler, and he used to carry, well no, he didn't invent it, but he kind of discovered it on accident. It's not an invention, like nobody invented electricity, they just found out it's a thing, right? So he would carry like a baby cow, like a calf, up a mountain. That would be hard, it's like a heavy thing. But it was alright, and he kept doing that each day, and slowly the calf grew up until the point where he was carrying a whole bull or something like that on his shoulders up the mountain. And you think, wow, how did he do that? He just followed through with it, and like the cow's weight slowly increased because it was growing, right? And therefore he got stronger. He did this to prepare for a tournament, I think. And that's exactly what you're doing. Let's say you managed to bench press 75 pounds 5 times. You're feeling confident, right? Don't add more than 5 pounds. Actually, I don't know why, but yeah. Don't add more than 5 pounds. You should increase little by little. I think 2.5 pounds or 5 pounds is like the perfect range for most people. Because if you increase by too much, your body is not going to get used to it. This is my own experience. I hit a decent bench. I was like, that's too easy, you know? And I added 10 pounds. And I couldn't, I lifted it up and it fell on my chest. I had to like roll it down my body, pick it up like this, and put it back on the rack. I just couldn't push it back up. It was embarrassing. There were like people in the gym, they're like, yo, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I was fine. But I was not fine. I was like, why did I do that? In my head, I was just so angry at myself. Just don't. It's not worth it. Don't try to impress people by like, you know, suddenly lifting a bunch. Don't do that. It's not gonna help. And I also wanted to say like a tip that a lot of people might give you is to do compound lifts. Compound lifts is like lifts which target a bunch of muscles. For example, squats are a compound lift. They target your back, your glutes, which is your butt. Basically, that's what the glutes are. It's like a muscle in your butt. I think your thighs. Well, that's not your thigh. You're like your quads, whatever you call them. So that's like a compound exercise. It works a lot of muscles. Or bench press. Bench press does triceps, chest, I think a little bit of shoulders. And they're good. Definitely do squats, do benches. And I mean, I never did deadlifts. I don't like deadlifts. But do deadlifts. If you want, do deadlifts. They're not bad either. But you can do isolation exercises where you work out only one muscle. That's okay. You can do some biceps curls, do shoulder raises, because these big three compound lifts are not going to target every muscle. Yeah, sure, you could do them. You could end up like Eddie Hall. You know, you can, you know, curl 1,000 pounds once. You could maybe, you know what I mean? Like you could just do crazy lifts, but you're not going to be in shape because you're not targeting your entire body. And I did this mistake. Actually, I did the opposite. I used to only do biceps curls. The only reason I do other exercises, and I'm being 100% with you right now, was to rest my arms until I did more biceps curls. And they were weak ones too. Like my form was completely off. And I remember I was just like, what is that? Why am I not getting muscle? And then I just started working out elsewhere and I looked so much better. My chest got a little bigger, my shoulders, a bit of my legs, even triceps. Can I tell you something? Triceps is 70% of your arm size. So if you work out triceps more than you work out, no, like as much, you're gonna get your arm 70% bigger. Like, you see that? Does that not like you see ripped guys and they have like, well, better than me, but they have like this kind of like bumpy side right here. That's kind of what you're going for. My third tip is rest. Rest, no matter what. Like, if you feel like, you know, oh, a certain muscle hurts and I feel like I don't want to work out today, and you worked out yesterday, it's okay. Take a rest. I don't recommend resting 2 days. Some people do that. If it was like a really intense one, go ahead. If you got hurt, definitely more than once. You should actually recover. That sounds obvious, doesn't it? But rest is important. When you sleep, actually, you should sleep a lot too. Try to sleep as much as you can. But like literally when you're not working out, that's when your muscle is growing. It's repairing itself. You took the weight and you like, let's say you pushed yourself, you did like one more rep, you're like clenching your teeth, like your neck like muscles were showing. That's how intense it was. And you did it. Your muscle probably ripped. Not ripped like badly, but you definitely tore something in there. And that's good. That's exactly what you're trying to do. When you tore that little ligament right there, you essentially told your muscle, okay, you got to be able to lift this weight now. And the muscle got hurt and it's like, ow. Okay, you know what? I'm going to rebuild myself. And this time the next time he walks into the gym, he'll be able to do that extra rep easily. I used to be able to do 5, now I can do 6. And I got a little bigger because it like healed over the wound. And you can even see it. If you've ever worked out really heavily on a certain muscle, like let's say you did 5 sets of bench press, you're going to have like little red marks across your chest for like the next day. And that's good. That's a sign that you worked your muscle very well. So don't be afraid of that. And that's about it for muscle gain, I'd say. Okay, so here is, wait, let me make sure my volume is working. But here's one exercise that I like to do. It's called shoulder raises. So you take a kind of lightweight. If you're not used to this, this isn't an easy exercise. So you take these two, you stand like this, Inhale. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. No, 14, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wait, maybe a bit more. 19. Ooh. So that works your shoulders a lot, like especially your top shoulder, because you actually have three parts of your shoulders. Like the the top part is like what I was just doing. The front part, like right here, gets work when you're doing like bench press or even push-ups. Actually, push-ups help too. Uh, and there's also the back ones, and they can also be worked. You should work a bunch of them, but if you want to get like wide shoulders, I really recommend these. And I don't look at me, I don't have wide shoulders, but it will help you get them if you want them. And I've definitely gotten wider ones ever since I started using them. Oh, another thing is don't do 18 of these. You should pick a heavier weight. Like I usually use 15 pounds for this. I was just doing 18 so I could do like good form for the demo, and that's it. So next workout I recommend, and this is a timeless one, is push-ups. Just simple push-ups. But there are different ways to do them. You can if you place your arms more inwards, it's gonna work the chest more. But what I like to do is put my I'm gonna tilt the camera a little bit. Put my arms like about shoulder width, elbows facing outwards. Wait, I gotta move my chair. Yeah, and I like to make them just flare out a little bit, just a bit. So I'm gonna do a set for you guys. Okay, here it goes. You should inhale on the way down and exhale while pushing, which is gonna make it like a lot easier because that exhale force is gonna push your body up. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, whoa. Nah. I was only able to do like 10, right? But it's okay. It's okay. Push-ups definitely work your triceps a lot. If it's like a really good body weight exercise for triceps, I really recommend it. And it does chest too. Like my chest feels really pumped right now. And one thing I want to just say is you shouldn't really stick your arms out too far. That's gonna work the back a little more. Now, if you want to work the back, that's great. But if you don't, that's it. And I actually think this is gonna end off the video. I'm really happy to show you guys like how I went through this. And actually, no, I'm not ending it off. I'm gonna talk a little bit more. So it wasn't easy. Just this whole thing wasn't easy. Sometimes I'd be just wondering, like I'd look in the mirror and be like, wow, what's up with me? Why am I not putting on no weight? Why am I not looking big? I've been doing this for months. And the truth is it takes long. And I've said this before, but it's gonna take long. But I didn't know that. Like I knew that, but I didn't want to believe that. And I guess the secret just is to really believe that and believe in yourself, because if you build good habits, if you're not doing anything wrong, if you're eating well, if you're, you know, working out consistently, like 4 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever's good for you,
you will see progress. I promise you. Might not be as big as other people, but you will see progress. Thank you, and that is it. Bye.